Let's just hope that all of these rumors, reports, and possible teases don't ultimately take away from what the film needs to be in terms of making it a flashy, glorified, cameo-filled film that doesn't ultimately do any justice to Doctor Strange. Which brings me to Magneto. Apparently, it might or might not be Ian McKellen that just plays the version of Magneto we're going to see in the film. It might actually be Michael Fassbender playing Magneto in the upcoming sequel. So in the previous video, I talked about Ian McKellen possibly returning as Magneto, and I stated my opinion, which some people still didn't understand what that is, so congrats to you. I don't know how you function on a daily basis, but hey, it is what it is. It was my opinion that I love his casting and thought he was perfect. But Michael Fassbender, I actually love that casting as well. He played a different Magneto, which I thought was great. Which brings us to the Magneto rumor that just won't go away. So if it's not Ian McKellen, people are saying, well, it's going to be Michael Fassbender. And this is the one that I am honestly inclined to believe way more than anything related to Ian. And this is because of the old contracts. Because we know that there was contracts still left over from the old X-Men films. And these contracts were transferred over to Disney. And either it was like, get a payout or work out something new, or something had to be done. Now, whether they exercise those contracts or not remains to be seen. We obviously have seen Evan Peters show up in WandaVision, and that was probably an extension of that. So did they do that with more contracts? I think it's literally possible that they did. And Fassbender would make sense. If he was signed on for, let's say, 2.5 to 5 million per appearance, if they can negotiate with him or be like, hey, we got your contract, we want you in this film, and you owe us this role, and you're gonna get your money anyway because you have to, I mean, he'd kind of have to agree to it, which I think would be something that he would honestly probably agree to anyways, even if they just asked him to do it, because it's one of those goodwill things, right? And I don't think you want Disney to be mad at you or piss them off since you're somebody that works in Hollywood, so naturally you want to play nice. And I do personally believe that if there is a chance of Magneto appearing, it will be Fassbender playing that character. In terms of where and how, to me, some relation to Wanda would make sense somewhere in the multiverse, obviously not the proper one we've been following, but one of the other variants would easily make sense. And since we never saw Wanda in the Fox X-Men universe, there's your in. That's literally your in. We saw Pietro, we saw the back of Wanda in one scene. We saw Pietro in WandaVision. So technically, they could actually work a retcon where Pietro/Quicksilver in WandaVision was the same version. Because they left that kind of still loose and open-ended, said, we could get back to it, you don't know. Again, it was a Nexus event. They're dealing with Nexus points. It can all work out. So honestly, if it comes down to it and someone's like, which one do you think's happening? Fassbender's the correct choice and the right choice, because it just makes more sense to me. And I don't think you need to force Ian McKellen into the story in some stupid way. It just doesn't make sense to me. On paper, though, Fassbender's story, how you could tie him in, the contract and everything, that makes sense. That just literally works in terms of what they need.